Hello and good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Daily Wrap for what was Thursday, the 12th of June, 2025. Today was an interesting day yet again. A good mix of content, a podcast where we covered a lot of ground regarding what new games I'll be playing as a result of me dropping Mind's Eye, and also going through the entire game schedule for the rest of the year, looking at the set dates that are out for game releases. Then jumping into a lot of gameplay today. Sheesh, so much gameplay today. Finishing up an ongoing playthrough, which I've been playing for like the longest freaking time, but also making really good progress in a DLC. So let's talk all about that. Here we go. So, Level 1 podcast today. Definitely check it out if you want to be informed on all the stuff that I'm interested in doing for the rest of the year. We went through the entire game schedule and wrote down all of the set release dates for games that I am absolutely interested in. There's a lot this year. Plus, there's going to be a lot of games that don't have set release dates as of yet, but probably will get them at some point. And of course, those will be interested in as well. But I only really recorded those that had the concrete set dates. So after looking at that, we realized likely it's going to be around early to mid August when there's almost nothing going on with new releases. And that would be a good time for some downtime playthroughs. For example, some of the games we've talked about are Suikoden 2 HD or maybe a Grand Theft Auto 4 run with mods on PC. We'll see. But anyway, in addition to that, we talked about a bunch of new games that I could play now because we're not going to play Mind's Eye. And there was a lot of good ideas. Seriously, notable ideas of maybe go back and play games that I missed, like Onimusha 2 HD or Deltarune, which just came out. Maybe start early on Suikoden or GTA 4. Or maybe do something completely different, like take up some of these games that are driving games and try them out on my Logitech racing wheel. So we talked all about this, and we didn't really. There's a gnat in here. Now there's a dead gnat in here. I just squished him. Hold on one second. That might have legit been the first time ever on camera a bug buzzed me, landed on my hand, and I squished it immediately. Wow. That's some Mr. Miyagi stuff right there, if I do say so myself. Anyway, so after looking at all of these options, we're in a situation where it's not clear exactly what we should be doing yet. So I said to everyone, well, how about this? Instead of just running into a new playthrough tomorrow, how about we do something different? Something that the likes of which we haven't done in a very long time. Why don't we do a demo day? Why don't we do a day where we sit down and we look at a bunch of game demos from various different genres and play a few of them on a stream and see if they're any good? This will give us an idea if these are games that possibly we actually want to do playthroughs of later this year. And just to give you the example of the games that were selected, we have Hell is Us, Catch and Chill, Neo 3, Mina the Follower, The 100 Line, and Tenebris Somnia. So here's how this is going to go down tomorrow. Tomorrow morning, there will be a level 1 podcast, but it will be an abridged version. I'll just say hello if there's any brief game news. And then what we're going to do is chill while people start to vote. What's the first game you want to see a game demo of? And then we'll pick that and we'll download it, we'll install it. Then as I'm playing that demo, we'll actually go to the next, and people will keep voting for the next one. Will I do 6 demos tomorrow? There's no way. There's no way I'll get through 6. But I feel like we'll get through like 3, maybe 4. And since I'm going to do a shorter podcast, likely what'll end up happening is we will be able to play at least 3 to 4 hours of gameplay and get through a bunch. So it should be a special, fun, early stream of demos. I hope you'll join me for demo day tomorrow. I haven't done one of these in years. Should be great. And I certainly hope that you guys will join me for it. Okay? Cool. Now, that's tomorrow's daytime stream. Okay? Tomorrow night's late stream is going to be something different. It's going to be Friday Night Fights. We'll talk about that in a second because we might have to change that. We'll see. Anyway, so today's podcast was great. We got through the gaming schedule. We figured out exactly what we were going to do tomorrow for demo day. And then we played Lies of P Overture DLC. I would say today's my favorite day of the DLC. Today we actually made great progress, beat the entire carnival, got some rage there because I got lost and couldn't figure out how to leave the carnival. They actually kind of hid the exit, which was really stupid in my opinion, but it is what it is. And then we ended up going to a whole new area, a really cool new underground lab area that's like a prison, but also experimentation, these hideous freaks. And it was pretty challenging and fun. And I got my butt kicked, but I also made good progress. We're actually using new weapons now, Wolverine claws, which is pretty cool. So great progress in Lies of P today. And great support. We exceeded the support goal. That was excellent. Tonight's late stream was the conclusion of Clair Obscur Expedition 33, the standard playthrough. And what I mean by that is that this game has a ton of optional side content that opens up during Act 3 that apparently everyone says is meaningful, is fun, adds to the story, adds to the gameplay elements and combat, super bosses that are epic fun fights, all of that stuff. And I'm thinking to this in my mind, that's very similar to what Lost Odyssey was. Hell, that's similar to Dragon Quest XI that had a whole second story after the main story ended, right? Problem is, as you know, if you followed along this playthrough, there is little to no interest whatsoever in my viewing audience for the game. I'm not saying it's no one. I'm saying it's like 5% of my audience, if that, who are actually tuning in. And rarely do we get enough people coming by who can support. It seems like the audience who like the game just haven't been able to support it that often. So I'll have one stream of Clair Obscur where we hit a goal, and then I'll have 2 or 3 that we barely get any support at all. And that's bad. Now, I told you guys, listen, I would commit to beating it. Tonight, we beat it. In fact, we had just enough time to beat the story and see one of the endings. There are 2 endings, and apparently there's a checkpoint you can load if you want to see the other ending. But that's where we left it. And I explained to everyone, and I'll say it here again. My job is an amazing job. I get to do what I love for a living, but it's a double-edged sword when it comes to a situation like Clair Obscur, a lengthy RPG where that's not what most of my audience likes. And because of that, the lengthiness of it, I mean, we're talking it was over 50 hours this playthrough. The support ended up dwindling and drying up. Rarely were we, in the last month when I played the game, rarely did we have a stream where I was hitting a goal. So I still toughed it out, but I explained to the audience tonight, I have to do and what's right and balance, what's right. In this case, I can't continue to do all this side content of Clair Obscur. I was told there's 20 more hours of side content. That would be the equivalent of 8+ streams where I would say, well, I'll just accept that there's not going to be any support today. So I can't. But what I did say is this. I love the game so much. Number one, you have to understand this absolutely is going to be a Game of the Year contender for me. It will be in my countdown no matter what. There's no way 9 more games are going to be better than Clair Obscur this year. Okay, that's number one. Number two, this is the kind of game that, let's say, moving forward this year, all of a sudden, one week I have a great week. What if we do a marathon and the marathon gets a ton of support? Or out of nowhere, someone comes in and does a giant contribution. I'm like, whoa, I'm like way ahead right now on support. What I'd probably do is take a random stream, whether it's a day or night stream, we can figure out, and say, let's just do some Clair Obscur tonight. Let's go and fly around and explore an optional dungeon, take on an optional super boss, check out some new stuff that we didn't go to before because we didn't have the opportunity. I would like to do that. And if we do it that way, maybe once or twice a month, maybe do a Clair Obscur stream, we may still get to see all the side content of the game by the end of the year. And it won't be a big deal. It won't be like, oh, I'm still playing this game, ongoing 5-6 months and everyone's complaining. Instead, it's just kind of a one-off stream here or there that we do. What I would do is obviously try to announce it a day or two ahead of time. So those of you that like Clair Obscur could show up. But it's more for me that we get to play it and people get to see it. It's not about the support because I don't think it's ever going to come. Just being honest. I think there's certain genres of games I'm just not going to get that level of support. Suikoden 1 HD. Why do I think that one worked? Because it's a classic and because it's short. The playthrough was under 20 parts. So because of that, people were able to show up and engage in support for the few weeks that we played it. Done, move on. Clair Obscur, we've been playing for 2 months. So of course, it's not going to be able to have that level of support when it's such a smaller audience to begin with, right? Anyway, I certainly hope that you will check out the finale tonight as I upload it. I loved it. I really did. Very few criticisms, if any, for the game. A super duper good RPG. I'm very happy that I played it. Even though it wasn't the biggest moneymaker, it's not about that. It's about games. And I very much enjoyed the playthrough. If you were along for the ride, even if you couldn't support the playthrough ever, I still appreciate you watching and being part of that audience. Thank you for that. Okay? Okay, so Clair Obscur is now done. We will possibly bring it back in the future, but let's give it a break for now, and let's move on. Tomorrow, as I've already stated, a short podcast and a demo day. Tomorrow night is Friday Night Fights. Yes, that's right. For the first time in a week and a half, we're doing fighting games again. I want to play Capcom versus SNK 2, but if you watched that last stream, that was Lag City. We couldn't consistently get good connections with anyone. I'm basically being told the collection is dying and nearly dead on PC. Now, I wouldn't be opposed to buying this Capcom Fighting Collection 2 on PlayStation if people could tell me there's more people playing it on there. If there is, then maybe I will do that. Maybe we'll buy it and we'll play it on there. My joystick does work on PlayStation 5, so it would just be the matter of, swapping consoles, from PC to console and making sure the VRR and everything is on, which I think it is. Just turning it down, I think 1080p, so you get it all. And then playing it on there and seeing what happens. I mean, my ranking would reset, but at the same time, I don't think it's that big of a deal that my ranking would reset. I'd probably still be able to play people. That there's no real ranking thing in the game where you can't play people of higher or lower rank. So it might be funny. I might match up with people who have super high rank and I beat them and get a ridiculous amount of points. So maybe we'll do that. Let's see. But Friday Night Fights tomorrow night, Capcom versus SNK 2. I'm off on Saturday. I'm back on Sunday. We'll talk about that and figure that out tomorrow. Okay? All right, everyone. I'm out of here. Have a good night. Thank you for those who did watch Clair Obscur. I'll see you for demo day and for Friday Night Fights tomorrow. Have a good one. Let's end the week strong tomorrow. Come by. Please support the idea of demos and Street Fighter, and I'll see you then. Peace out.